guys, welcome to another Mikey Talks video. I know it's probably the fourth one, but it's really the second one where I actually kind of really talk. I mean, I think the first one I was kind of talking about games and stuff like that I was going to do, but really the last video that I've gotten responses on was really the first talkie. So first of all, I want to thank you to all the people that have supported this channel so far, and it's so awesome that after that talkie that I did, I have so many new subscribers, and a lot of you have been already following your channel, so it's so cool to have like an audience of like people that I watch. Like, how awesome is that? That's so flattering. I'm probably going to say like 5,000 times in this video. Take it as one of my trademarks. I don't know. Like, I'm super nervous on these videos. I know you can tell. Like the last video I put on, there were so many cuts on it. It almost looked like stop motion animation. But anyway, I wanted to thank you guys for replying to. Well, I wanted to thank the people that did reply to my open tag. It was my first open tag. I wasn't sure if anybody was going to reply or not, and those are really cool answers that I got. So the people that did reply so far, I want to thank Sega and More. I want to thank 65 Gamer Guy and Steve Benway. And I've been a fan of your guys' channels for quite some time, and it's awesome that you guys have replied. And if any of you plan on still replying to that video, feel free. I'm really anxious to hear what you guys think, because one thing that's interesting about people's first experience with retro games or their history with games, it's really different. There's really a huge difference between like how gaming was overseas and how gaming was here, because really we had like the classic consoles, and then there was like a drought, and then we kind of went into like the NES, the Sega Master Systems, you know, the classic 8-bit systems. But in Europe, as a lot of you guys are from, or anywhere like around that area overseas, usually basically anywhere that's not like the US or Canada, like, you guys really didn't have a gaming drought. You guys were more PC gaming based, and I'm telling you this based on not having experience that whatsoever, but based on videos that I've seen and replies that I've gotten. And like, for instance, Steve Benway's history with games and stuff like that, like seeing his videos, which if you've seen my videos, you've probably seen his. But yeah, it's different because like there was PC gaming. Like, I had exposure to the Commodore 64 and stuff like that, but like computer gaming back in the day was kind of like more of a hobby than like a popular thing. Not that many people had computers, so I learned how to use Commodore 64 mouse and Geos and all that stuff before I even touched Windows. So it was nice to hear like different stories from here in America and then overseas. So I thank you, and I thank you to all the new subscribers, and I hope to continue to create videos that are awesome. So that brings me to the next thing. So I actually had a different video plan, and I actually got a video response this morning to, well, I don't want to call it a playthrough because I kind of went over last week that I didn't want to promise any playthroughs because they're super stressful, and I have to finish the game and I have to record it, and it's kind of hard because you die a lot and stuff like that. At least I do, like when I'm finishing a game, and there's just a lot of filler in between, and you want a video to be sort of not too long, so you can split it into sections, and sometimes there's a lot of just wandering around. It's just hard to come out like with a series of videos that help you finish a game like in a decent amount of time. I mean, I'm not doing like any kind of speed throughs or anything, and like be consistent with like putting it on the internet, stuff like that. So basically, I'm working on Resident Evil 2, and I'm just playing it and then stopping, posting the video, playing more of it and stopping. I may eventually finish the game, I might not. It's just one of the games I'm playing right now, and I'm recording it as I go, and if I eventually finish it, it will be a playthrough video, and it'll become its own list, and I'll put whatever number it starts from to whatever the last number it is. Of course, it'll start at 1. I just said the most obvious thing. But yeah, and that's how playthroughs will develop on these videos, if that's, well, if that's what it becomes, because I just can't promise it. I would like to have playthroughs, and I'll get back on that later. But anyway, when I was making that video, I got a response from a person by the name of Gaming Mikey. So he says, although you do have more subs than me, people tend to not look at these Let's Play videos, especially with a lack of audience. These YouTube celebrities started with entertainment, something people would look up in this modern society. I found you, well, we have the same name. I could use some help, but I understand if you don't have the time. So that's kind of what he wrote. There's some ha-has in there and stuff like that, but I don't think that, like, it would have came out right if I read it, like, said the sentence and went ha 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 ha. So it kind of comes, it's like he's giving me criticism, which is a good thing, sometimes negative or bad. But then I happened to check his page out, so, and I noticed that it's on the page, it said he was 15, I believe, and then I checked out his videos, and so I'm going to post the link to his webpage, because I said I'd help him out, like, but I was like, I wonder what kind of videos that he's into, or like he's talking about that's entertainment, and I noticed it was like more recent games like Modern Warfare 3 and like the little cartoon troll sign like over like people's heads, or like glitches in Grand Theft Auto 4 and stuff like that. It kind of like had silly music, sometimes like stuff you might see on G4, and I'm wondering if that's like the kind of stuff like kids in that age group are around, because I have noticed that like the viewers a lot of times on my channel seem to be divided. Like there'll be a lot of views for like a lot of the modern games that I do, but when it comes to the retro games that I post up, people tend to comment more and like get really enthusiastic about it, all then the people on the contemporary games will just kind of like the video and not say much. But like his channel's kind of like what I said, like where it's like modern stuff and it's kind of just funny and it's almost like a variety show. So definitely check out the channel just to see, at least if anything, like to see like the difference between like the age demographic, because I eventually want to talk about on this video without my randoming, or what some of you call waffling, where I just kind of like go off on tangents where I'm sure you guys don't know where I'm going, and I'm probably not quite sure either. But it just made me think about the interests of the different age group, and I kind of want to address that. Like, the thing that appealed me about YouTube, well, when it first came out, is wow, you can watch every single commercial, anything that was documented and like on TV, and you can look it up, like whether it's old TV shows you forgot about, video games, and all this stuff, and it was awesome as long as you had some way to put it down, like put it up. But like people like started getting more strict, or companies more or less started getting more strict with like copywriting and stuff like that. So YouTube kind of evolved to people that kind of like to blog or make entertainment videos like that. Like, you should check out his channel, because it's kind of like a different kind of gaming videos than maybe what I personally watch, but you guys might be interested in it in the gaming community. It's a different type of video, and maybe I'm advertising my videos wrong, I don't know, but it seems like I'm doing a good job, because the people that I started watching and was a fan of have started subscribing to my channel, and I like the stuff that you guys are doing that have subscribed, so it's a different kind of thing. So anyway, back to the story. So like, eventually, I guess the first thing I came across was Classic Game Room, and like, it was this guy Mark. I'm sure you've probably seen Classic Game Room, and it was a really well made show. But I was like, this guy's doing this on his own, but he had like high budgets and green screens and fancy stuff. And when he first started, he had like an actual another person with him. I was like, wow, that's really cool. Like, I wish I had like the kind of budget to do all this stuff so I could talk about gaming and stuff like that. Because like, I remember in school, like, we'd sit at the lunch table and we could talk about games all day long, but the thing that was different between a lot of the kids in school was we talked about older games and stuff like that, and that's what was really exciting because that was the most nostalgic thing to us. And then like, I came across like Classic Game Room, and I'm like, he's talking about the stuff that we talked about, but it was scripted. It was like a review. It was like watching TV, you know. It wasn't like talking to one of your buddies or something like that. So then I looked forward, and I started to come across channels like Steve Benway's channel. He was one of the first people that I actually started watching about 3 years ago. And this was a guy that basically, he wasn't good. Like, I'm not saying you're a bad player if you're watching this, but he wasn't doing like huge, like, crazy like speed runs or something, because most people on YouTube only recorded games and stuff. Like, I guess how, what's his name again? I already forgot. Mikey said like, you have to, in order to be a celebrity, you have to do something that's entertaining and stuff like that, which is never my goal in this at all. But it was just like a regular guy that liked games, that just wanted to show you what the game was looking like, what it looked like, and played it usually on a TV, which I thought was a novelty at the time because it kind of had that buzzing sound and that glow from the video, like from the TV, like in the video recorder didn't always record it that clear, and it was so appealing to me. It reminded me of just sitting on the couch while like a friend was playing a video game you're just talking about, and it's like cool. And it's just like, and then after I saw his videos, he did shout outs, and I found out other people's videos, and he actually commented back, which the more popular channels didn't do, which made that even more interesting. And then finally, when I saw these videos, I'm like, hey, I can do this. And pretty much that's how I got started. I started doing these videos of like me playing games, and like basically not only to show other people about these games that may not have caught them, or like show it to people that really remember the game fondly, but I wanted to record the game so I would have them to look at as well. Like, I go back and watch my own channel too. So yeah, it was so cool. Like, anybody could do it, and there was a community, and they didn't have so many people where they couldn't message back, so you could stay in touch and comment, and it was interactive, and that was the whole community aspect that I said I like so much about these videos. So, maybe the expectations of younger viewers, or some younger viewers, or whatever, are different. I don't know. But, yeah, like, so I just kind of wanted to go over, like, my goal for YouTube was basically, I feel like we have a really good tool, and I kind of feel like it's our responsibility to document history, document these games that some people may not be able to play, or give people a chance to hear about games that like they might not know about, and they can go and play. I hope I'm saying this right. Like, and just, it's not just like seeing a video like of the game. Like, you have somebody that's talking about it and their impressions, and it's cool to go back like 10 years from now. You might think completely different than you did when you played this game. And it's good to go back at a different time and look at what your impressions were and stuff like that. So my goal for YouTube is not to only create an entertaining channel, not to be popular or anything, but to communicate with other gamers and document history and honestly make a channel that's entertaining for me too, because what appealed to me and those videos, like I mentioned, it was just somebody making a video, unscripted, kind of filming it, and basically like talking about it, and it was basically like archiving like history, archiving games that you might not ever go back to. That's why I did the Snatcher playthrough. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to play Snatcher again in the future, and I would talk about Snatcher sometimes to friends, and they wouldn't know what the hell I was talking about. It was a rare game. So now I can finally be like, well, I documented the game, go check it out on this video. And the fact that none of us are professional game players, we actually can have like the average person's point of view, and that's what I like. And it's retro gaming, because before YouTube, the only retro experience I'd have would either be playing the consoles, but in order to get like a different person's point of view, I would basically have to look up like my old magazines and stuff like that. And being able to see people go through thrift stores, like I like to sometimes, and find rare games and find other people's and watch other people's findings and stuff like that. That's really cool, and seeing the enthusiasm and the communication behind it. So I was just wondering like what the expectations of a younger audience is. Like, I don't do this to get like 1 million subscribers or whatever. I like the subscribers that I had. Like, if I stayed with the amount of subscribers right now, like, I'd be happy. I mean, I welcome anybody that wants to subscribe and that likes the channel. The more people, the better. But if I had like 1 million views of like these people that are popular, like for instance, like Classic Game Room, like Mark and his videos, and for instance, the Angry Video Game Nerd, like, how are you supposed to respond to all those people and reply and stuff like that? That must be super overwhelming. So have a nice, close-knit community and be able to document history and your like opinions of like the games, like just the average person. That's what I meant. Like, I didn't, like when I was talking about Steve Benway's channel, I wasn't saying he was like bad at video games, because I've seen him play racing games, stuff like that, and he's like super good and stuff like that. But he's like a normal guy, like a normal game player that just likes games, like me. Like, I'm terrible at video games. Like, he's probably a way better player than me, but I'm just like saying, like, I'm not that good. It's the average person's take, and anybody can do it. And it's, to me, that's more realistic documentation. Just having some professional player remember a game exactly and playing straight through it, no mistakes whatsoever. That's just not realistic to me. And I just think, I just think like being able to document like your gaming and like having your commentary of your impressions at the time and playing through the games and being an average player, so you can kind of compare yourself to how hard the game would be like and stuff like that, like, is awesome. And that's why I do this and why I made this YouTube channel, because I want to document history and I want to make the kind of channels that I'd like to watching before I ever made a channel. And I want to make something that I would want to watch too. And like I said, I've caught myself making channels too. So check out, let me see his name again, even though his name's Mikey, for some reason I can't remember Gaming Mikey's channel. I said I would help him. It's not necessarily the kind of videos that I make, but I said I would help him, and I'll put his name out because he kind of made me think about what people look for in YouTube and why did they make the channel. So feel free to reply to the last open tag video, but I would like to make another one before I branch off in this video. So here's another open tag if you want to reply to it. like, I'd like to end these videos on there, because I'm one of those people, I'm terrible at small talk, so, like, sometimes when I talk to people, I interrogate them, so I have plenty of open tags if you want me to start making one once a week. But anyway, my question is, like, for you guys, what makes you want to watch a gaming channel on YouTube? What makes a good gaming channel on YouTube to you? What entertains you? What draws you into a gaming channel on YouTube that would be entertaining to you? Why do you make your channel? And what's your main goal of your channel? Like, why do you do it? And basically, what's the ultimate goal that you want to have with your channel? And I kind of went over what mine was. If I didn't go into greater detail, send me a message and I'll elaborate, because I know I go in tangents sometimes, or like I said, like you guys call waffling. But I want to thank you guys again for all the new subscriptions, all the help that everybody's given me on these channels. Definitely check out Sega and Moore's channel, 65 Gamer Guy, and Steve Benway's channel, along with the channels on the right side where I have cool channels you should watch on my page. There's many more. Just check out, like, basically who I like on the feed area. It's a good way. I don't know if you can check who I'm subscribed to or not, but anybody I'm subscribed to is really good. But they only let me list a certain amount. So check out those channels. Those are the kind of channels that appeal to me, that are on the right side. And I already listed a few, and I'll put the links on the video. So beside that, I don't have any amazing stories of anything that happened to me this week. I apologize. I know I've been doing like a lot of, like, I guess, semi-contemporary games, because it's off of the PS2, but there's a lot of arcade compilations of games that I want to cover. And I know I did some PS3 games and PS1 games. Don't think that I'm not going to go back to, like, retro gaming from the 8-bit era and all that stuff. That's just what I'm doing right now. It's just what I want to play. But like I said, that's why there's different playlists, because everybody is into something different. Not everybody wants to watch every, like, kind of game known to man. Some people just want to watch 16-bit or 8-bit. So don't let that discourage you. Just, if I'm doing too many contemporary games or too many old games now, remember there's a playlist of, like, all the different kinds of channels that you can pick. So if I'm not making what you want, like, remember, you can go back. Like, and I know there's a lot of fairly new subscribers now, especially since, like, the open tag responses and the shout out were immensely helpful. So I know there's a lot of new viewers. There's almost like 180 videos that you could catch up on. So if I'm doing too much of one thing, remember, you guys can always go back. And remember to check out the channel description where I have a list of consoles. And if there's a game on any of those consoles that you want me to play, send me a message, and if I have it and I'm able to play it, like, I'll be more than happy to play that game for you guys. And also, if you have any suggestions, like this guy here, Gaming Mikey, did, I had to look just to make sure I'm right. That's so pathetic. I have, like, the terrible short-term memory right now. But yeah, like, send criticism. He was actually trying to be helpful and being helpful in a lot of ways, and kind of opening up my horizon of different kind of viewers and stuff like that. And he gave me a topic of a video, so I said I'd help him out. So I'll put a link up to his channel. Maybe you guys could help him, or maybe, like, tell him, like, explain to him maybe the different kinds of videos, like, because maybe he's not aware of, like, this type of community. I don't know. But I said it helped. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for all the support. I know this isn't a video that's a talkie that's on a Friday like a lot of people do. So it's Monday, which is the worst day ever. So I don't know. I don't have a cool name for a Monday video. It's like the shit day feel good. I don't know. So, thank you guys for watching, and remember to do all that crap I said before. Well, you don't have to do it, it's suggested. But, I'll talk to you guys next time. I hope that wasn't too rambly. I'm not even going to try to edit this, so my English and grammar is horrible. I apologize. I could say I don't really talk like that when I'm not in front of camera, but would you really believe me? I don't know. Alright guys, take care, bye.